So what'd you need my ND for? You're.
I thought the sun was. I thought it was gonna be more like yesterday, and the sun was gonna be more.
Oh, I thought you were
visible.
gonna ND the moon, which is not a bad idea, depending on what shutter speed you want. But
yeah, true. Welcome to Unusable.
Oh, welcome to Unusable.
Today, we are out and about in Kingsburg because today, June 14th, is the full moon. And I noticed the moon looked pretty cool yesterday when it was almost the full moon. And I was like, hey, Gilbert,
Clearer day. It's quite a bit more dirty in the air and hazy.
Yeah, yesterday was better.
Well, this can make for really dramatic moons when it finally rises.
Yeah.
I mean, it's risen. We just can't see it. It's too low in the horizon.
It's still behind.
Yeah.
I'll get some video with it shortly. I'm setting up my C70. Gilbert's setting up his Alpha 1, I think.
I'm going to go Hasselblad right now.
Ooh.
No, I'm going to do Alpha 1.
Yeah, same.
Because if I do the Alpha 1 in the long lens, I get the compression and the moon against all those trees.
That's why I wanted to be
Nice
here
and big.
right now.
It'll look enormous.
Yeah.
Can I stack this on there? Or can I close this?
Yeah, I'm good with that right now.
You sure?
Yep. Go ahead and close it. Or stack it.
Yeah, it'll be flat, so shouldn't crush anything. I'll let you know if it does.
I did want to follow up something from the last episode.
What did we talk? I don't even remember what we talked about.
Headphones.
Oh yeah, okay.
And you let me borrow.
Oh
I
yeah.
got them in my pocket right here.
I forgot. You could have stolen them from me.
No.
Yeah.
The AirPods 3. I have thoroughly enjoyed my experience with them.
But.
No.
No but?
No but.
Seriously?
Just, having listened to you complain about them, I immediately put them...
What did I complain about?
I immediately turned off the automatic switching.
Okay, so that's universal to any Apple headphones.
Except for the original AirPods, which I have and
Right.
don't have the luxury of. So I spent the whole week and a half with it off. And I was like, well, I'm not getting the full experience. So today I turned it on. On my iPhone and iPad. That's all I had with me at work. I had my work computer, but that's not on the same Apple ID. So I didn't automatically switch to that. And honestly, it worked pretty well. I had some YouTube stuff going in the background while I was working. Just, my need for noise while working. And then someone started talking to me and I pulled up my phone after that conversation and opened up Instagram to check something, see if I got a message back from somebody. And of course the video started playing and they automatically switched to my phone and started playing the sound. And I was like, not exactly what I wanted, but it did work the way it was expected to. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's, yep.
When you are, how I always talk about, especially in Editor, the podcast, I've always talked about this concept of sessioning. So sessioning when you are sitting down and making a conscious effort to use like Wi-Fi at the hotel or your hotspot off of your phone with your laptop. It's not terrible. It's when you want it in any impromptu moment and when you're not expecting it. That's when it grates at you. When you're sessioning with it and and you have some expectation about what's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's not bad because you're expecting the behavior to some extent.
Yeah.
But I found that just the difference between what I wanted versus the accidental switches versus the, expected behavior, it just was too much. It's just too much. And it's very frustrating. And especially if you have more than one device.
Yeah, I only had an iPhone and an iPad. I could see
You didn't have your Mac there?
I didn't have my Mac. I was just at work today.
Yeah, because imagine, so let's give an example. You're editing on your Mac. It automatically switches to your Mac when you push the space bar. You are trying to watch noise on your iPad. It automatically switches to the iPad and or it stops your YouTube video.
Yeah.
You get a phone call. It automatically switches to your phone. It's all these things.
Yeah.
That I don't think if you were editing on your Mac while watching YouTube on your iPad and still using your phone for messaging or calls, it would drive you nuts.
Maybe, yeah, possibly. Like I said, I only spent 10, 12 hours with it.
Yeah.
But
yeah, no, I'm glad you tried it.
Right. I was like, oh, I'm not getting the full, experience that they want me to have.
Do you agree with me that they are vastly better sounding headphones than the OG ones?
Especially over my first gen ones.
Yeah.
Yes. Huge increase in sound quality.
And it's amazing because, like, you know how you get diminishing returns with anything sound related?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the value for the sound for those is pretty high if they fit your ears. Did they fit your ears pretty well?
Yeah, they did. I did find like I had to, the center of gravity of them is different.
Mm-hmm.
So like with having worn the original AirPods for what? 4 years now?
Pretty much day one, right?
No, I got them like 9 months in.
Oh, wow.
I held off for a very long time, and then I actually needed them for the old Lowdown show. Tripod. I need a tripod.
Yeah, that's great.
I got them for the Lowdown show, where we rode the bus and Kiku fell.
Oh, no, that was such a bummer. That video was it hurt me.
Yeah. Very fun episode to do, and she's okay. And I will be seeing her in Chicago when I go in just a couple weeks. And it was almost a whole year of the original AirPods being out. The original AirPods were around for quite a while before the second gen ones came about. And I held out for as long as I could, and then I was like, well, I want to have them to be on the call to be able to talk back to the team back at CMAC, and I don't want to have a wire hanging from me.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're okay. And then, it is quite remarkable how much better they sound over those original ones. The fit is fine. It just took me, like, with my original ones, I know how far I can turn my head one way or another before they start to fall out of my ears.
Right.
So I still haven't quite mastered where that is on these ones, but that just takes, time to wear them, more than a week and a half. And yeah, honestly, I prefer that. I don't like, unless I want isolation, I don't typically want my headphones to be silicone or foam in my ear. As much I know,
it's too much though. It is. We talked about ear fatigue, man. It's hard on people.
Yeah, so I just want them to just sit there.
Yeah.
And there's no like transparency mode, but it's the...
Or noise canceling for that matter.
Or noise canceling.
Yeah.
But with them just sitting in my ears and not clogging my ears or doing some sort of active noise canceling, it is fine, because I'm wearing them at work or at home where someone's going to start talking to me any moment. I've done tests where it's like, how long can I listen to what I want at work or doing stuff before someone interrupts me? And it's about 2.5 minutes in between interruptions. I'll get interrupted, and then I'll hit play on whatever music or YouTube video, and then I'll make it about 2.5 minutes, and then someone will interrupt me again. So I get like no work done.
Yeah.
No work that I like originally set out to do. Work gets done. I'm helping people with stuff. Stuff is happening.
Oh, I know.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm preaching to the choir. I'm not.
No, well, not from my perspective, but I understand. I understand your specific plight, I think. So just as an aside, we were debating Moonrise today, and I whipped out Star Walk. But normally, what I use for this sort of stuff, especially if I'm doing time lapse type stuff, or any kind of stuff involving astronomy, is I use photo pills. Are you familiar with photo pills?
No, what is photo pills?
So photo pills is an app that basically helps you do all your calculations, everything you need, especially when I'm shooting. Today I'm shooting the Hasselblad, the 500 cm.
Yeah.
And I have a fairly long lens with me, but also it's $1 a shot, so I don't want to get things wrong.
Medium format, yeah.
And it's nice to really know what's going on. Actually, it could be upwards of $2 a shot easily.
Sure.
Depending, because film $14 for the basic development, But anyway, so PhotoPills also has an AR mode, and you could see. So we're looking at the moonrise. Here's the moon in the horizon.
It's just under the horizon. It's coming.
But moonrise break is at 9:11 p.m. tonight, and it's 8:56.
Perfect.
So
I was worried we were going to be late.
No,
but we're here.
I think.
And you were complaining about my full body shot for the show, but we're just a silhouette now. It's great. I love it.
No, I don't like it.
This is great. This is gonna be the best show yet.
It already is. So we're southeast, and then boom, right there. Basically where that airplane is.
Yeah.
That's where it's coming. Oh, you got it perfectly in there. Nice.
I got the airplane.
But before I set up the Hasselblad, because it's a shorter lens, I'm gonna do the Alpha 1. And so what settings do you use to shoot the moon in video, Kyle? Typically.
Honestly, I don't know. I don't really shoot the moon. So that's why we're here. I want
to learn it.
I want to try. I'm practicing.
The moon, it can be tricky.
I'm practicing on this little airplane.
The moon can be quite tricky for photography, for stills. A lot of people seem to struggle with it. Generally speaking, so one of the things that people don't realize about the moon, especially when they're locked off on a tripod, is that I forgot my freaking cable releases for the Hasselblad.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like it's unusable.
Don't.
So that's what's unusable today.
That's what's unusable today.
Yeah, I'm not gonna burn $1 a frame or more.
You could burn $1.
I'll try it. I'll bracket, so it'll be at least 3 shots.
Oh.
But anyway, a lot of people go to shoot the moon, and they, unless they have some kind of, special kind of Korean or smart or Chinese smartphone that replaces it
the moon with a stock.
Yeah, with stock.
Because the moon is always the same. We see the same side of the moon every night.
Yeah, so we're tidally locked and in lockstep with the moon rotationally. So yeah, we always see the same face.
So. Yeah, a phone could replace the moon with whatever it wants, and we would be none the wiser. But we're trying with Hourglass tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got my C70. I do not have the speed booster on because I want the reach. So the Super 35 crop sensor, got the Canon 70-200, and that's really it. I'm here. For the video.
Oh, yeah, Kyle's killing our light sensitivity to our eyes. I'm trying to close my eyes when he pops on the LED on the.
And
I also turn off the display on this, which burns out my retina on the.
When you put your eye up to the EVF.
I lower the brightness all the way down.
I have the brightness down on the screen on the C70.
There are Nikon mods that you can send into Nikon, similar to how you can send a Canon back to have it done for stop motion.
Oh yeah,
with the new with the firmware, you can send certain Nikons in to make the screens red and do all this stuff for astrophotography.
I mean, you could just tape a red
piece of tape over it, or clear,
like get some clear cellophane, some red cellophane.
I mean, it's not great because you get light leak if it's not.
You could, yeah.
And when you do all my sciences in class,
can you
astronomy?
Can you explain why red? Why would you want your LCD screen to be red? Why does red not affect our nighttime?
It probably has to do with the distribution of the cones in our eyes because we're much more sensitive to green.
Yeah, just like a Bayer sensor.
Yeah, so like right now,
this guy's hitting us with his brights.
Yeah, which is really, really frustrating.
Phew.
Jeez.
Yeah, so red light.
Yeah, so that's my guess. It has to do with our sensitivity to it.
Which is funny. We're saying that today. Apple just put out a video on their Apple support YouTube channel on how to make your iPhone screen red, changing in accessibility.
In accessibility, yes, you can, and you can do grayscale. You can do reds. You could, for any kind of color blindness, you can add filters in accessibility, and it's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
And I honestly think it's bullshit that camera manufacturers don't do that.
Yeah, just nighttime mode.
Why doesn't every camera manufacturer have an accessibility mode? like that.
Or just general
an accessibility menu, you know?
I recently listened to an interview. It was just between
With Carrot
two.
Top?
What? No.
This is a wild guess.
No, just two photographers talking.
Right.
It's this guy who has a farming YouTube channel, but he also likes to talk about cameras. He was saying, you know, and we've talked about this before, you know, Canon cameras are only like 1/3 of their business. The other third would be like corporate printers and scanners and machines like that. But then the other third,
similar to Nikon,
is their health and medical
imaging.
Equipment.
Yep.
And typically, when they're working on a new camera body style, the Canon engineers will invite the people from the health departments to come in and double check the ergonomics. Now I know you've said the Canon ergonomics don't quite work for you, but they work really well for me. My hands are a bit bigger.
Yeah, and I have
than yours.
I have small hands and arthritis.
Yeah.
And I find that Sony's, especially with the Alpha 1, like for example, there's a large part of the Sony community that wishes the Alpha series, the flagship Alphas,
Yeah.
were full size,
Bigger.
like the R3.
Yeah.
But about 75%, according to most polls that you see on most of these bullshit sites that are, you know, highly biased to begin with. But either way, most polls of Sony users actually really like that you have the option. So to me, the Alpha 1 is the oldest flagship, and yet it's the most expensive. But to me, that's already the killer feature. Like even if I were starting out fresh,
yeah,
I would almost certainly still choose Sony at this point from a fresh start, simply because of the ergonomics above, and plus the glass is awesome. But yeah, I mean, even though it costs $1,000 more than a Z9 or whatever,
500.
I thought the R3 is 1,000 less. One of them is 1,000 less.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
And the R3 I thought was 500 less. But the R3 is half the resolution. The Z9 is, I mean, they're kind of the state of the art, but it's also a Sony sensor.
Right.
So you know, they win for no matter what.
Yeah, Sony's getting that green.
Yeah. So anyway, what you'll see a lot of times when people shoot the moon is that they're not really prepared for how fast it moves in their frame.
Yeah.
So really, while you want to kind of emphasize the lowest possible shutter speed, even though it's a very bright subject, I obviously am, you know, shooting the lowest ISO possible. When I shoot it in film, normally I shoot it with 50.
Oh, not even 100.
So, yeah, so that's typically like black and white, and if I'm shooting color, it's going to be 100 typically. There is 64 that's out there with color. It's kind of a specialized film, but I find it doesn't work as well. So the 100 is as low as I go for color for C41, and then medium format is, you know, the bee's knees anyway. But tonight I have in my backs, I have 800 in both.
So yeah, you're almost going to want to use an
ND filter.
ND filter.
Yeah.
At night.
At night.
Who would have thought?
Well, I mean, you know, when you shoot the sun, it's all, which we can do that. I'll go over that with you one day, and we'll try not to fry our sensors. But yeah, you got to be real careful with that.
Yeah.
But anyway, a lot of people,
they make specific filters just for the sun, but you could probably. I could probably
you can
use
stack
the
NDs.
built-in NDs in this camera plus an ND on the.
There's a shot of the sun that's on my glass profile that was done with just NDs.
Wild.
Yeah, so
Is
with
there
an
gonna-
A7R4.
Is there going to be any eclipses in the United States anytime soon?
We just had one.
I know we had one just a couple years ago.
Yeah. Oh no, we just had one. Like we weren't in the penumbra, but we just had one. You talking about a lunar or solar eclipse?
Which one's the one when the moon blocks the sun?
No, I can't remember. Scott's yelling at me right now.
Scott Ullery, chime in the comments.
So the way I think of it is, what is eclipsing what? So is the moon eclipsing the sun, right? So lunar, right? Or is the sun or is the Earth blocking? You know, so what's being eclipsed?
Right.
So when you name it as a lunar or solar eclipse,
it's the thing being blocked, or it's the thing blocking.
Yeah. So what is doing the eclipsing, or what is being eclipsed? I should say. That's the opposite. Does that make sense?
I want the moon to block the sun. I want one of those.
That's a lunar eclipse.
That happened. Are you sure?
No, that's a solar.
That's
no,
a
that's a
solar.
solar. I just said the opposite of what I just said. Yeah, it's a solar eclipse. Scott's literally yelling at me. But yeah.
Yeah.
Marcus too, probably.
Because that was fun. Like people drove out to where was it? Like Indiana or something. It was kind of right in the middle of the United States that it happened.
Yeah.
Oh. I would love to do that, but I don't think it's happening like in the United States for like 10 years or 20 years or something.
Casey Neistat was at the last one.
He did, and he like programmed his drone to fly over the
crowd
around
of
the people. Yeah,
they were sitting on top of an Airstream.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is really cool.
But yeah, weather's good. 75 degrees.
908. I'm starting to see some backscatter from the moonlight there.
Oh yeah, it's starting to get a little brighter. I've got the C70 all the way up to 25,600 ISO.
You'll lower it when it comes, right?
Yeah, as soon as the moon comes, I've got to lower it, but just to kind of see the skyline. I've got it cranked way up.
We only brought one plate, right?
Oh, right. There was one on the desk, and I saw that both of these tripods had plates, so I left it on the desk.
I thought the same thing, like both of these tripods had plates, and I forgot that we're bringing multiple cameras.
Let's see. I was going to check Skywalk. Oh, I don't have it on my phone.
Anyway, Skywalk's not so great for the photography purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just want to do the AR.
If you're doing stuff like this and you still want AR, get photo pills.
Photo pills?
Yeah.
Like PILL?
PILLS, yeah.
Photo pills. $11.
Worth well, you don't do this very much, so I wouldn't recommend you buy it. But if this is something you want to do, strongly recommend it. If you're into time lapsing, you're into astrophotography, you want to understand the position of objects, you want to understand if you want to like really nail golden hour on either end, if you want a specific shadow somewhere, all that stuff is perfect for if you're trying to do like holy grail time lapsing, where it's by far the most difficult kind of time lapse, where you are going so long that you're changing light completely from light to dark or dark to light,
Mm-hmm.
And you want to nail your exposures and sit there and babysit the camera and change your exposure as you go, but still have a real smooth gradient. Photo pills is the way to do it. Yeah.
All right. Well, we need to go to Atlanta, Georgia, and visit my brother from another mother, Daniel Lowe. Mm-hmm. We're not related, but he does some pretty fun time-lapse stuff. So we'll have to go visit him. He would have some great time-lapsing.
So iOS 16 tidbit at
you've got
nighttime. You can change your background or your lock screen.
Yeah.
So I specifically chose
a dark
red
one with a red with red text. Hey.
Yeah. So.
Look at you. That's fancy. All right, got my StarWalk app back downloaded again.
So photo pills will not just give you the AR experience, but it'll tell you timing. It'll show you the elliptical of the sun, the moon, all that stuff.
Yeah, StarWalk is more about the constellations in the sky, huh?
Yeah, and even with StarWalk, so for example, right now you have all the old drawings of that. You can show how much of that in StarWalk like you want in the app.
Yeah.
So I turn it down to just see the major stars based on magnitude, and you can determine what minimum magnitude is sufficient for your purposes. So and I turn all the constellation pictures off, and
where do I?
Then the other thing it can do is it can just draw lines for the constellations as opposed to just the pictures. So we're technically in moonrise already. What episode is this, Kyle?
11?
11.
Yeah,
wow.
We're in the double digits. Yeah, I forgot to mention it in the last one.
Nice. So we're in, I called this Kingsburg's first captive bike lane.
Oh, right.
But that's, if you count unincorporated Kingsburg, that's technically not true. If unincorporated Kingsburg, along the Golden State Highway, along the old 99, there is a random bike lane that is filled with trees and stickers, that pop your tire.
Oh, not stickers that you stick on your stuff like I do. I like to cover all my stuff in stickers.
Usually I bring sunglasses when I do this.
Well, if cars would stop hitting us with their high beams.
The beauty of light pollution.
It's okay. I just thought the moon might look cool. But I could have sworn the moon came out a whole lot earlier yesterday.
Yeah, it did. I mean, such as the rotation of things. It's not like the sun where it takes quite a bit longer to see the difference. The moon is quite different every day.
Really?
Compared to the sun. So look at the video I sent you. The moon is like just above horizon, and it's still clearly a little lighter out. But that was at 8 something. Well, I'll look at the XIF and we'll double check the exact time.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I was out at 8:20 and noticed. So I thought, yeah, full moon's gonna be out by like 8:30. We're gonna be.
I just realized I forgot to tighten this all the way.
We're gonna be in good shape.
Yeah, I was wondering, because I had looked it up. I was wondering why you wanted to be out so early, but that's why I told Elise we'd be back super late.
Yeah, I mean, you properly looked it up.
Kind of I like doing this a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, I really wish my other tripod was here. I ordered a Really Right Stuff tripod.
And it's become a really slow.
Yeah, they've been hit like super hard. They're always super back ordered to begin with. So I ordered this tripod in it's their Versa series, which is one of their most awesome tripods.
And I have Nissan Versa.
Yeah, and I have one of their amazing ball heads. But to begin with, their stuff is always back ordered, like even in the best of times. But they just got hit so hard.
Supply chain stuff.
Yeah.
Supply chain blues.
Yeah. So I ordered this tripod at the end of January, and it is now, well, we're like halfway through June.
Halfway
right?
through June.
Oh. That's what's happening. I forgot I'm like wondering what is wrong with me. Why can't I get this in? I forgot I stored a screw in there.
There's an extra screw on the bottom.
Yeah. And it wasn't conflicting before because it was ahead of the plate. Or the head of the mount, rather, the head.
But now you want to slide it back because it's front heavy.
Look at the red lights we're getting over there. Look right back there. Isn't that amazing? Against all the pollution.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that that's just incredible to me?
Yeah. So I've got my camera white balance for daylight. It's pretty red. Should I white balance for tungsten?
I keep it daylight when I do this. So.
Okay.
Although I have a lot more flexibility than you. To me, it's about the look you want, and if it matches what, you could go for reality or you can go for
Yeah.
You know?
I'm not shooting raw. I'm just shooting 10-bit.
Man, I don't know how you can you're blowing out your eyes like that. It's wild. But there's no viewfinder on there.
Yeah, I don't have an EVF.
Huh.
I need a Canon R5.
See?
R5C.
Man, look at that, dude. It is amazing. It's just starting to peek out right now. Do you see it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's wild.
There it is. There
Hey,
it
Kyle,
is.
have you ever done like the double sunset thing?
Double sunset thing?
Yeah, so like let's say you go to watch the sunset on a beach, right?
Yeah.
If you lie down on the beach and watch the sunset,
Oh, and then stand
up, you'll see it again.
Oh,
Have you ever
yeah,
have you ever tried that?
Right. Yes. Okay. I thought you were talking like some Star Wars Tatooine twin sun stuff. Yeah. I mean, even when I lived like in the Bay Area, the sun would still be out and I'd be calling my mom and she'd be like, the sun just set. And I'm like, oh no, the sun's still in the sky because I was further west than she was. But like we're in the same time zone was the silly thing, you know?
Right.
Like obviously my brother's currently in Hawaii. It's only 6:19 where he is.
Right.
This is great.
So I'm shooting just double checking my settings here.
Dang it, I had bug spray in my car. I didn't bring it. We rode,
Oh, you know what's funny? I had some in my bag and I took it out.
we rode the skateboard and the bike out here.
I took my
right by the
basket bag
water.
out because I thought I was going to carry your backpack and it had bug spray in it.
Dang it.
How it works.
Yeah.
All right, so right now with this moon, I'm going to be at about 1/15 or in this case I can do like micro. I'm going to be in, so I'm on a tripod, but I'm going to use 10 meter to infinity on my lens.
Right.
Manual focus. I'm turning off OSS. Okay, I know that seems counterintuitive.
Oh yeah, I need to turn off
But
stabilization
OSS
too.
actually causes more problems.
When on a tripod.
Even on a when on a tripod, it causes more problems than it solves. I missed my shot fucking around, which is a bummer because I wanted it a little lower in the trees. But you know what? This is still going to be really pretty, and we're getting a ton of haze.
Yeah, so I'm at 200 millimeters, but with the 1.5 crop factor, I'm more like 350. How zoomed in are you?
I am at 1200 millimeters.
Oh, you've got the 2 times teleconverter.
I'm at f13 at 1/13 of a second right now. And I'm sorry about the light, but I screwed up my dial. And I can see it, but I don't want to have to stare in the screen to watch my rotation settings.
Sure.
So I might actually zoom it out a tad just so I can get more of the trees in there. I could also cheat and shoot a plate and then just put it lower.
Yeah.
Which a ton of people do, but that's not what we're trying to do right now.
No.
And I noticed you leveled your bowl, which is great. My camera, and I'm sure the C70 does too. My camera has an in-body.
No, as you saw, I had to turn on a light to see it. The C70 does not. The R5C does. Has an internal level.
So what I'm doing is I'm doing a timer bracket in single stop increments, but 5 shots continuous.
Okay.
And I'm changing focus basically every time. And I'm also effectively ignoring my, I'm ignoring my histogram almost entirely
Sure.
right now. Because it's so easy to look at it. I mean, you can look at it, and it's so easy for it to tell you lies in this instance.
Whereas I have waveform.
Okay, the light has changed enough to where when it was lower, I needed to bump up quite a bit. But now I need to go to long exposures.
Yeah.
And because I've lost 2 stops of light with this lens, so right now I'm shooting this bracket at 1.6 seconds, which is bonkers.
Wild. But you also, what'd you say, F11?
F13.
F13?
Yeah,
So
because because when I lose the 2 stops, but then also zoomed into 600, I lose another stop. So really, I'm pushing the limits, because when you're exposing that long with the moon as fast as it moves in the sky,
right.
it's no
be
good.
A little streaky, yeah.
You will get blurry shots.
Yeah. So I have my lens wide open at f2.8.
Yeah, a lot of people shoot wide open.
I'm also filming 60 frames per second.
Yep.
I don't know if that's really necessary. Maybe I'll switch to 24.
I wouldn't have shot 60. I would have shot 24. Personally.
But I'm so wide that I can still see cars driving by underneath. So that's kind of cool. I can slow that down. So I might switch to 24 now and then lower my ISO and stop down. But I'm still at ISO 3200 because my shutter speed is effectively 120th of a second. Yeah, let's switch over.
So you heard that car pass. So another thing about my setup is I'm gonna stop down to f18. I'm gonna still bracket. I'm stopping down because, when we're wide open, especially with a teleconverter and especially with just the nature of lenses, what happens when we're wide open? We sacrifice a significant amount of sharpness.
Yeah.
And so I've stopped down to f18.
Although you might pass up the sharpness stopping down too much.
Well, I'm still at the 1.6. So the other half of what I was going to say is because of what I'm worried about, which is exactly.
Oh, so yeah, you're at f18, but you're like physically on the lens, you're more like because the camera's doing the math with the adapter.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
okay. So what your camera is saying f18, but really you're probably at f13 now?
It would be closer to 13.
Yeah.
Realistically, but so I'm ignoring this and also giving myself an opportunity to be sharper, but also relying on the camera to recover that detail. So any of that shadow detail, and that's where obviously the histogram can sort of help you, but honestly, it's a lie when you're shooting the moon. Like I really just I ignore it altogether.
Yeah, histogram or your exposure compensation little slider.
This is an absolutely gorgeous moon right now, though.
Yeah.
Absolutely gorgeous.
It's a little distorted.
Yeah, because
It's not a perfect circle. It's almost.
Yeah, well, the moon's not going to be full until about 4 in the morning.
Yeah, full.
Yeah, well, it'll be at like 99.7-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we won't see it quite full visibly. But yeah, so if you want to catch the super, super full moon, we come back out here at 4, and the position in the sky is bonkers.
No, I got a production at 10 a.m.
So what I'm gonna do is I am gonna shoot a plate, actually, effectively, of that background.
Oh, the trees and stuff?
Just silhouette the trees against that backscattered light.
Yeah. And then put the moon in it.
Yeah, let's see how it comes out. The problem is the moon casts such a gradient that it's very easy to make that look artificial.
Right.
So
It's just,
really
it's
what
just
I should do is
comped in.
shoot my plate when the moon's about maybe 3 or 4 degrees higher.
Yeah.
So that we lose some of that real brightness toward it. Hi.
Filming
Shooting the moon.
Whoa.
It's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, I just didn't see that.
Man.
Would you like to look through and see what I'm seeing? It's pretty amazing. Let me get it back framed up for you. So right now I'm gonna fire the shutters for this one as well, because right now I'm getting a lot of green in the moon.
Oh.
Because we're passing through like a lot of layers of, pollution. So
What's your name, man?
I'm Tristan.
Hey, Tristan, Kyle.
Nice to meet you.
This is Gilbert.
What's up, buddy? So this is what I'm seeing right now. It moves. So I'm gonna have you put your eye right against that viewfinder right there. Put it right up there. It'll switch the screen. Mind blowing, right? It's amazing, right?
Do you ride your bike out here a lot?
Yeah.
Nice. Gilbert does. I
noticed you were riding on the road. Do you prefer it over
Or were you just trying to avoid us?
No, I was just riding the ride. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
But do you normally ride in the road rather than this path?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I know we're kind of being jerks and taking up the path. I was a little worried about that. But we tried to make sure we had enough leeway if anyone wanted to walk or ride past us.
All right, so now I'm gonna follow my histogram this time, and I'm gonna go right to almost to where I'm clipping my highlights.
Yeah.
Pull it down a little bit,
Right.
and then I'm gonna bracket from there. So probably 2 of those shots are gonna be clipped.
Right.
But then we're gonna go the other way and just to see how this camera performs in terms of like whether I should be preserving highlights or shadows.
Yeah, you'll have to send me pictures of it.
And it's different, as you know, so basically, in other words, I am following the histogram right now.
Yeah.
It's different for film in terms of like what compared to digital, in terms of what is best to preserve. And you can see my shutter speed's way faster now. And now I'm not shooting electronic, which if I did with this camera, it was great. And I could eliminate any of that mirror shake or shutter shake in this case, because there's no freaking mirror.
Right. Here, once this truck drives by, noisy truck, what's like your Instagram or TikTok or whatever? We'll shout you out in the video notes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just my Instagram's just Tristan.Flores07.
07. All right, man.
Nice, man.
You guys just take pictures of the moon or anything?
Oh, all kinds of stuff.
Oh, this is just a fun project for tonight. But yeah, all kinds of stuff, yeah.
All right, Tristan, thanks for hanging out.
No problem.
See ya.
So I think I'm high enough I'm gonna mount the Hasselblad on here.
Oh yeah, you're gonna switch to the film.
Yeah, I took both. I have 2 cable releases, and I took both of them out, rested them on the counter, didn't pick them up.
Oh no.
So
I bumped into this tripod arm, and I have image stabilization off, making my moon a little jittery. Yeah, now I'm at base ISO 800, and I've stopped down to f5.6. And I'm still on daylight white balance, so the moon is still looking pretty orange.
the moon has changed colors dramatically.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
me, just through different.
Looking with my eyes, it looks more yellow. On the camera, it's looking, kind of yellow, kind of orange.
So right now I'm ISO 100 f16 and 1/4 of a second, which is kind of ideal for this brightness. Those are going to be really nice. And of course, plus and minus.
Now, when you're doing these bracketed photos, is your camera stitching them together?
No.
You're gonna stitch them in Lightroom, or
if I need,
Capture One?
I'll pick in this instance, I'll pick the best one.
Oh, okay. You're not gonna do like an HDR merge.
No, not necessary for the moon.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one bright spot in a sea of darkness. Although it's surrounded by a good amount of haze right now.
Yeah, and I can pick up more of that haze, but a lot of times I'll just crop down to the circle unless it's like, you know, looking for some kind of silhouette or something.
Yeah.
Which, you know, would have been nice to do it earlier, but it's okay. So let me verify that I'm correct.
Oh, you're using the photo pills, doing your AR thing. Yeah, I really got what I wanted. I mostly wanted to see the moon rise up over the treetops. I wanted to see it most distorted and orange and
Was it beautiful as
taken
you
up.
hoped?
That was exactly what I wanted. So now the moon is just kind of sitting in the sky.
Yeah.
In my frame. But I'm excited to see you switch over to the Hasselblad.
That's what's on tap right now. So, you know.
I guess, wait, before you take it down, let me look through your EVF. I haven't even looked
Oh,
through.
yeah, go for it. So right now I have the shutter closed. You'll want to move it and focus it now.
Oh, yeah. No, that's great. So we're at what, 1200? We're fully zoomed in?
I don't remember if I pulled it out. Sometimes I pull it out. With objects like this and very long lenses, which I prefer shooting long lenses over everything, you'll want to zoom out as much as possible to get your shot and then zoom in. So a lot of times when I'm tracking a bird with something like this, with 1200, which is obscenely difficult, at least for me. I mean, some people do
movement.
it. Yeah. So if I'm tracking a bird, first of all, I'm in mode 2 on the ISS.
Okay. So that's no vertical.
Yeah, so it's all about panning for the most part. Occasionally I'll be in 3. This lens has 3, which is really looking for erratic movement. Whereas 1 is more like your standard kind of like
up
multi-directional swoosh. Yeah. But if it's a bird, let's say flying across the horizon, I'll be in mode 2 and I'll be tracking it and I'll zoom out to catch it. And then I'll zoom in as I track it to get my shot.
Yeah. So it ignores any side-to-side movement, but still helps you stabilize up and down because it knows you're going to be panning.
Yeah. And, you know, with the Hasselblad, I'm not expecting to get anything sharp because, A, I have the rear curtain, a giant mirror, all this, and no cable release. So if I get any detail, I'll be thrilled. But I'm good. I'm pretty good. It's still on a tripod. I'm pretty good at hand holding.
Yeah. So the thing that I always kind of heard when taking photos
with the reciprocal rule.
Oh,
go on. I'm sorry.
Oh, just
for hand holding.
Trying to, if it's truly handheld, not with a tripod.
Yeah.
As many points of contact as you can. Yep. I would kind of like hold it in my hand, have it up to my eye, and then I would kind of take my left hand and then grab my right shoulder and rest the bottom of the camera under my arm. Can't see any of this. We're in the dark. But, and then slowly breathe out as I pull the shutter, press the shutter button. That's for my steadiest kind of handheld photos. If I had to be, under 1/50th, 1/30th of a second.
So are you familiar with the reciprocal rule? Remember that whole rule about shutter speeds and lens focal length?
Oh, sure. I have heard it. I don't remember it.
Yeah. So if you're shooting a 35 millimeter lens, you want to be double that shutter speed.
1/60th.
1/60th.
Yeah.
For a 35 mil, I would say 1/80th would be even better.
Yeah.
But
there is a 1/60th.
On modern cameras there is, but not on old cameras. My camera has like 1/278th, because it has all the fractional shutter speeds. Yeah. If I enable it to, deal with flicker. But yeah, so there's that. And then for me, my style is I have elbows against the sides, right? So I'm creating basically a tripod, and my third point of contact is literally my face.
Yeah.
And usually I can hand hold without any OSS to around 1/15th. Okay. So with a typically long lens.
Now with the reciprocal rule though, with a 1200 millimeter lens,
Yeah, literally, 2400th
2400th.
with no
But
OSS.
we're taking pictures of the moon.
But I can routinely hold 1/800th with a bird in flight at 1200 millimeters.
Tracking it, yeah.
With OSS
And right,
in-body stabilization.
The camera will help with that. Now, for your Hasselblad, what's your longest lens?
So I have a 250 millimeter lens. And so it's different than APS-C where you get the boost in length. I get the opposite with a medium format.
The full frame equivalent would be like a 135?
Yeah, give or take. Yeah, there's some math there, but it's not quite. But you're pretty much close.
Yeah.
So.
And what?
You can tell how well I know my Hasselblad as to whether I could do this in the dark or not.
Oh yeah. You're switching your lens on.
I'm using that car to get my dot. There we go.
You have noisy trucks in Kingsburg.
Yeah, many of them, right? Oh, I missed it by...
Do you even live in Kingsburg if you don't own a noisy truck? Lifted noisy truck.
There we go.
What do you know what the longest lens, they don't...
Ooh, in the system for the old system?
The old system.
I don't know the answer to that. I think this might be it.
It might be as long...
I'm sure there are specialty lenses, but that Hasselblad makes, I don't know of a longer one than this.
And I'm sure for other people, they would just get adapters to attach it to a telescope.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Which is
what you used to do.
Yeah. So I'm going to narrow my legs so that I can reduce the spreader size without having to reach because I'm short and and then this way I can do it a little easier. And then I'm going to lower it because A, I want to get a little bit of the horizon there since I'm shooting 135 anyway-ish.
Mm.
And B, because it's a top-down finder,
Yeah, you can't have the tripod be too tall.
I don't have the PM whatever it's called 3 for the Hasselblad.
It's a Peter McKinnon.
McKinnon 3. Oh my goodness. Kyle, I got the small Peter McKinnon bag I gave in, dude.
The nomadic bag?
Yeah. Well, the secret is I had ordered it long ago. I didn't mention it on the show.
No, you didn't mention it to me.
No. All right, so now I'm leveling my bowl head because I don't have an in-camera level. And I need to turn on my stupid camera flash.
To see the bubble on the...
Except I'm going to... Can you do this in iOS 13? Oh, I can't reduce the intensity
beta?
That I'm aware of. Or iOS 16. I said 13, didn't I?
Yeah, just 3 years ago. 2020 was...
I don't even care.
Pandemic time. All right, let's take this film shot, wrap up this show, and get out of here.
I've got the, I have no idea where I put that plate. I thought I tucked it in specifically because of this. Did I? I've got the ultra rare Hasselblad quick release.
Oh.
On here, which is super cool.
The moon got a bit brighter. I've got to stop down now, or maybe use some ND. No, I'll go to f11.
Yeah, I mean, I have meters. I'm gonna wing this one.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's no waveform on the. There's no histogram on the Hasselblad.
Can you give me some light?
You need
Wanna
light.
Hold that for me. Yeah, because I need to do like a weird setting of my lens.
All right. What do you? Yeah, you're.
So there's a release on the lens that I need to do to get to the longer stuff.
Oh.
So to get it, otherwise, when I go to the whatever, why can't I think? F-stop, like literally the most common thing. What am I shooting? I'm shooting 800 color right now. So I'm going to go for 1/4 at f16. So the reason why these work and the reason why there's a release like that is because basically I can move now one ring and it changes both the shutter speed and f-stop and it stays the same with the light.
Oh, wait, can you give me
okay.
that example again?
So on the bottom are my f-stops, my closest to me in this instance.
Yeah. Closer to
And
me is your shutter speed.
my shutter speeds. In this case, right now I'm on f11 with 1/8 of a second.
And they're locked together, you said. So if you turn it, you're changing your shutter speed and your f-stop together.
Yeah. And it means it's the same amount of light. You're just either doubling the shutter speed or cutting it in half, or doubling the f-stop or cutting it in half, right?
Okay.
So, see that?
So they're moving together. So now you hit the release button.
Yeah.
And now you can move the shutter speed without moving the f-stop. All right. Cool.
And now I'm gonna make sure my dark slides out, because that's always hilarious when I
take a picture of nothing.
Well, you can't pull the shutter release with the dark slide.
Oh, okay.
Oh man, this is beautiful. Jeez.
Let me look through that viewfinder.
So fucking pretty. Oh yeah, so I got an AccuMatte D. So all I did was, I know, because I know the rotation, I'm rotated to raw infinity right now. So normally for the moon, I would be at infinity and then I would come in ever so slightly.
Oh yeah. Wait, tilt up.
Oh, you go ahead. I just tightened it. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that magnificent? So you're looking through a fancy focusing screen with a grid and a split diopter called the AccuMatte D. Here, in fact, it'll look even better. Cool, maybe cooler that way. But you could, if you want to see it magnified. Ready for the magnification?
Hold on.
Get that exposure.
Okay. Whoa.
I was gonna tell you something about this Hasselblad.
Yeah.
So it makes it even harder without because when you shoot long exposures, you have a leaf shutter in the lens.
Right.
And then you have a rear curtain.
Yes.
Right? When you hold the shutter, you are manually controlling that rear curtain.
Yeah.
So if I don't hold the shutter open long enough for the actual leaf shutter to open and close,
yes,
then I can actually kill my exposure and severely underexpose my shot if I let go of the shutter early.
You did mention that to me when you first got that camera, yeah.
But anyway, hopefully that's not unusable.
All right, we'll see you in a fortnight.
Peace.